So this one was an opportunity to do something that I think I could very wholeheartedly recommend to my relatives and my family, and my nieces, nephews, my aunts and uncles, my grandparents. So they've actually given me the most glowing reviews. My parents particularly as well, which my mom watches everything that I'm in ever, even all the really heinous stuff. But she really liked this one, so that was a great seal of approval. And my relatives have actually been the ones to reach out and give the most positive reviews, which has been nice because usually it's either you can support me but you don't have to watch that, or they watch it without telling me and they're like, that was something. So
That was a movie. I really
yeah,
liked
they're like,
how you were in it.
yeah, they were like, well, you were in it and we watched it. So
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. Today I'm excited to talk to Sierra McCormick about the Nana Project, which came to digital on September 10th, 2024. I'm going to talk to her right now, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. It also meant a lot. Thank you. So, thanks so much for joining me. Today I've got Sierra McCormick talking about the Nana Project, which is coming to digital on September 10th, 2024. It is a quirky family drama with an interesting cast of characters, a fantastic cast, and some heart along the way. I really liked your character. Oh, I didn't like your character, but I like how you portrayed her. And
thank
there is
you.
definitely some fun family dynamics in this movie. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm very excited to talk to you.
No, I'm excited. I love this movie, so I'm pumped to talk about it.
Awesome. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna actually talk to you or if you were just gonna like text in the chat and I was gonna read it and we were gonna have this one-way conversation. I wasn't sure how we were gonna approach this interview.
Oh no, texting an interview is nice sometimes, but I'd much rather just talk.
Yeah, exactly. So it must have been
Yeah.
fun to kind of or it must have been difficult to have your character be be quiet the entire time.
That's kind of hilarious because one of my best friends in the world is the writer and producer Anthony Del Negro, and I think it's kind of a joke that he wrote the character to be completely silent, because usually I play very verbose characters where I'm talking a lot and I have a lot to say. So I think it was kind of a little wink and a nod to my usual thing that he kind of wrote this completely mute character, which was so much fun because you get to just show up on set and not have any lines to memorize. You just kind of know the character and react naturally in your environment, which is so much fun. It takes all the pressure off. I had such a wonderful time filming this. The character was so much fun. Christina, who plays my mom, is so much fun. She's hilarious. And so just getting to be on set and work with a hilarious cast of people and then also not have any pressure to have any lines memorized or anything was so fun.
Yeah, you said a lot with your face. Like your character's facial expression said a lot. Most of them were, angry, but your character did that does put an extra dimension, right? Like you have to kind of like express everything through your actions rather than your words.
Yeah, and I've been told that I have a very expressive face and that I have a very bad poker face. So you pretty much usually know what I'm thinking if you look at me. So I think that made Sarah a little easier to portray, perhaps, because one expression on my face, and I've been told at least that you can pretty much get the whole story.
So bad at poker, but good at friendships and relationships. So
Yeah,
it balances
exactly.
out.
I'm an easy book to read.
I wasn't sure if this was just a way for like an indie movie to get you on the roster without having to pay you that much because you only had three words in the entire movie, and I don't know if there's like some sort of minimum that we have to hit.
I think at a certain point, they don't pay you by the word. I think if your background and then you end up saying anything, then that kind of bumps you up to a different tier. But I think in terms of acting, I think everyone was kind of mostly in the same boat. So I don't think they got away with paying me less. I just think that my dear friend Anthony gave me a blessing, and wrote me a character that I didn't have to be stressed out about at all. Because I'm very nitpicky, I'm very perfectionistic with my work, but you take lines away and it makes it a little easier to relax and trust what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. No, if I could just go, if I could be in a movie and not say anything, like that would definitely make the hurdle for me much easier.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that was my dear friend giving me a wonderful gift.
That's awesome. And we're dear friends at this point because I think you are the celebrity that I have talked to like in terms of volume the most. I mean, I think like in terms of time, I think we've talked more than any other celebrity. So you're like my
No,
celebrity best friend
exactly.
too.
Thank you. And honestly, when they told me that it was gonna be you, David, I was like, oh fuck yeah, of course. Oh, sorry, whoops, I don't know. I was like, oh, of course, hell yeah, I'd love to do an interview with David about this because I think you've done interviews for every indie movie I've ever done.
Hey,
So
I saw you on the roster. I was like, I want to talk to Sierra. Like I knew
yeah.
Elsher, but I want to talk to Sierra. So
No, we always have a great chat, I think.
yeah,
So
for sure.
it was very exciting.
And look, I'm not gonna police your words. Say the words that come to your, express yourself in your vision, in your words. I'm not gonna police them. So
Oh, okay, fantastic. Thank you.
okay. Uh, okay. So one thing that was fun about your character, you had like bright orange hair, and I assume that was just like your normal hair color at the time. Did you have to like change it at all, or was that part of
No,
it?
no, that was I actually had done that for a different project. So every project I would prefer to do something fun with my hair, do something different. I like to look very different on screen each time I'm in something new or I'm playing a new character. So I'd actually dyed it that way for something else that I was shooting right after Nana. But so I asked Anthony and everybody and Robin, and I was like, "Is this going to be okay?" It's very bright. It's very memorable. It pops for sure, and they loved it. So I was like, awesome, great. And they kind of built the character kind of around me in a way a little bit because I can, not to the extent to which Sarah is, but I can be a little bit of a resting bitch face kind of little little sometimes that vibe that like I'm sizing you up kind of vibe. And I can be kind of a hater sometimes, only when it's deserved. But so they kind of built a little bit of that around me. So the fact that she had bright orange hair kind of just made sense. And then I'm wearing mostly my own clothes as well in the movie. So a lot of it was just based on aspects of myself. So the bright hair just kind of fit in with it. So
That's awesome. No, yeah, it's like I love it. Like it was so easy for you to jump into this. I know that indie films especially sometimes it's tough to schedule. So the easier that they can make it, so you can pop in, do your scenes, and
yeah.
spend as much time as you need to, and then pop out, the better.
Yeah, it was actually sad. It was like only 3 or 4 days of shooting for me, but I wanted to stay for the rest of the shoot because it was a lot of my friends. I know a lot of the people in the movie and behind the scenes on the movie. So I really wanted to stay. So because it would be like summer camp with my buddies, but I had something else to do right after that. So I kind of dropped in for 3, 4 days and then I left.
Well, yeah, I saw that like I don't know when you filmed it, but you just had like filmed camp with Nolan, and I'm sure you'd seen some of the others in like the indie circuit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad, but 3 or 4 days, it's
Yeah.
almost like a vacation,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, it was just kind of like I got to pop in, hang out with my buddies, do some fun scenes, and then pop out. So
Yeah,
can't
hang
ask for
out
much
and
more.
get paid for it, right? Like that
Yeah,
that's awesome.
exactly. You really can't beat that, honestly, as an actor.
And speaking of them crafting the character, or basically your character being almost like you with a few slight changes. One thing I noticed is like
Sure.
all the pictures in your room, they look like essentially all like your Instagram shots. Did you just print those out?
Yeah, they did, and I was kind of shocked because I didn't expect them to do that, and so when I walked into the set on that day, I was just like, what the fuck? Like it was a little jarring. It was a bit of a jump scare at first, initially, I will say. Just a bunch of because I don't know, I'm not someone that would ever have photos of myself in my house or anything. So it was definitely a bit of a jump scare, but I thought it was kind of hilarious and it kind of aids to Christina's character as my mother being kind of obsessed with me, but also in this weird abusive relationship with me where I'm super mean to her, but she's obsessed with me, which is just hilarious. However, I was a little concerned because I was like, I'm smoking in some of these photos and I'm supposed to be underage. I was supposed to be a kid, but I was just like, I guess her mom doesn't care. She just bows to whatever she wants to do. So
Yeah. Sarah's too cool to care about, those kind of social norms.
yeah, she wins her chess tournaments, she texts, and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting if you were just smoking in one of the like in the Chester, but just to like drive it home. That would have been fun.
That would have been pretty hilarious, although maybe a little odd to see in the context of the whole movie because it's so wholesome otherwise. But that would have been hilarious. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, the character was just so fun, and I kind of based her because she's supposed to be younger than me, so I kind of based her on a like an iPad kid who was not taught to like use her words and kind of was given nothing but screen time because her mom was super indulgent. And so that's kind of why at the no spoilers, but when I do finally make a sound, it's a scream because I just don't know how to express any other emotion with my words. So that was kind of the rules that I made for myself, was that she's someone that's had nothing but screen time and doesn't really know how to interact face to face.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think in my review, I kind of described you as like what a Gen Xer would view like a millennial as, just kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
not talking, always on their phone, no social
yeah,
interaction. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That was kind of my starting point for it.
And then it just kind of built from there. And I do love the
Yeah.
like the jump scare aspect, because that reminds me of like pranks you used to pull in the office where you'd like print up a bunch of silly pictures or pictures of someone and like pepper their office with it. So like after a vacation, they'd come back and see this. This is kind of a perfect situation for you too.
Yeah, honestly, that it was a bit like that. And like I said, the writer producer is one of my closest friends in the world. So the whole thing just felt kind of like a fun hangout with your friends. And so when I walked in and the set deck was that day, I was just like, oh my God, Anthony, like you've outdone yourself. This is crazy.
And everyone else had seen that before you got there too. So everyone was kind of
Probably,
like
yeah.
expecting it.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, just gonna print out a bunch of pictures from the gram or whatever. So yeah, jump scare, but ended up being very funny, and I think somehow making total sense for the character still.
Yeah, exactly. I do love that like you're friends with a lot of the people there, because no one thought you were like a diva coming in like, oh, like I must have pictures of me surrounding
Uh,
myself.
Certainly not. If you know me at all personally, you know that I'm not someone that wants a bunch of photos of me hanging out, you know? So I think that was kind of the joke as well, in addition to writing a completely silent, nonverbal character.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. It sounds like a really fun role to take on.
It
Um,
was.
Speaking of the person that talks in your scenes, what you mentioned that it was fun to work with your mother. What was it like working with Christina Moore? Had you worked with her before, or did you just kind of
No,
like pop in and
no,
mesh?
I'd never worked with her before, but honestly, I was day one, I knew that it was going to be so much fun shooting all of our scenes, and lo and behold, it was, because she just had this tweaked out energy, this like kind of like I said, almost abused woman by her daughter, and just like this frantic sort of doting wide-eyed energy, and her improvs were so hilarious that I really like all of my stank faces and all of my like mean mugging and stuff like that in the movie is a very huge effort on my part, because I really wanted to be cracking and laughing the entire time, but I was like, oh my God, Sarah wouldn't laugh at a single thing her mother says ever. And so that was most of the effort in the performance, was actually me trying to not laugh while Christina did her thing, because she's just so funny. Like, oh man, those interview scenes were in the room with all the photos of me. We went for a few takes, and she just killed it every single time. Just all of this nervous energy was just so funny, especially when I'm just like completely deadpan. So I was really having to pinch myself a little bit and make sure that I wasn't breaking or laughing, because she was so funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, some of the things that she had to say for what you said, I can't
Yeah,
imagine like just staying, stoic during that.
it's a skill, like a lot of things with acting. That is a skill you have to teach yourself, not how to not break when you really want to, and it's fighting almost this very physiological urge to laugh. So that's a skill I was definitely flexing and exercising while we were filming, for sure.
That's awesome. And that brings up another interesting thing. There were no like bloopers during the credits. I imagine there must be really, really fun bloopers. I hope that they're saved somewhere, or I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there definitely would be. There was, at least when I was there, which, like I said, wasn't even that much of the shoot overall. There were so many amazing blooperable moments. So, yeah, I think that there's got to be a hilarious blooper reel hiding somewhere. Maybe I'll ask Anthony about that and be like, "Hey, what's the deal with the blooper reel?" Because I think the people want to see it.
Yeah, yeah, special features. People want to see, you break character and probably say, I'm assuming you said some things when you laughed. So yeah, people want to see this.
Yeah, a lot of expletives. So maybe they'd have to edit it to be a PG blooper reel. At
Oh,
least me, when I mess up lines, I go straight for the F words.
well,
Yeah,
that fits your
yeah,
character too. Like your character will
it
be very angry
does.
about
I
messing up.
agree.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course. So your character is a chess prodigy.
Yes.
Did you have to? I mean, I know there wasn't a ton of like chess strategy, but did you have to do any like chess reading, brushing up?
Um,
Did you know how to play chess before?
I funny story. So there's many things about this character that's kind of a joke about me. One of it being her being silent and not speaking when I'm a very chatty bitch. But no, actually, one of the biggest ironic things about her is that I know how to play chess. I just suck at it and I don't care for it for, like at all. Like I was actually my school in high school, we had like a chess team, and when we went and did tournaments and stuff like that, they kind of kicked me off the team, but they couldn't fully kick me off the team because it was a class. Like it wasn't an extracurricular, it was a class that we took. And so they couldn't kick me off the team. But when we went to the tournaments, they kind of asked that I didn't play. And I was actually kind of relieved because I really didn't like chess. And so I ended up being the chess DJ. And so I would DJ all of the chess tournaments and be spinning the instrumental tunes. But yeah, I was kind of respectfully removed from the chess team because I was not very good at it. I'm not a very strategic person. I'm a very in the moment person. So all of the strategizing involved with chess to be good at it is kind of awful for me. It's just not my brain. It's not that part of my brain is atrophied, I guess, or something, because I am not good at it and it's kind of painful to do it
You know what?
personally.
Know your strengths, right? And
Yeah.
I think you got the best deal here. You got to pass a chess class. All you did was like play music and DJ and do fun things. So that sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
honestly, I was not mad, and so I am not a chess prodigy anywhere close whatsoever. So I think that's also something ironic about Sarah versus me, is that I suck at chess and I also don't like it, or like mad respect for the game,
Mhm.
but personally not my jam, not my vibe.
So did you do any DJing while you were on set? Like, did you play any tunes for,
Oh
in the
man,
breaks or anything?
Man, I should have. Usually, if I have more time and I'm kind of like on a shoot for a long time, I do end up being makeup room DJ sometimes, just because it's a lot of fun. Not always, but if it's applicable for the character, if it's helpful, I make playlists for the vibe or the character or the shoot, kind of whatever I need to get in the zone or whatever. So I do end up usually being makeup room DJ, but I wasn't really there for enough of the shoot this time around. Unfortunately, they're missing out. But
Next time. Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah,
someone's got to do it, right? Like
yeah.
one of the most like unreasonably stressful times I've ever had was I was at a gym and their speaker system went out, and so they like asked me to put on my music, and I was like, I don't like this. Seems very, very
Oh, wow,
personal.
that's very, yeah. I was like, that's very personal. Oh my God, like I don't know if I would either. Even me, who's I make playlists and DJ do stuff all the time. It's just like I don't know if I at the gym blaring so loudly, like I don't know. I feel like everyone would be judging my choices, and I don't know. I don't know if everyone would like what I work out to. So maybe, yeah, I'd be a little anxious as well.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I lifted well that day, so that's all that
Okay,
matters.
okay, thank God. God bless.
Yes.
You know,
We're here.
bless. Yeah.
So during the chess tournament itself, you both played moves. Were those moves choreographed, or were you and your opponent just kind of like moving the pieces
No.
around, in the rough
Um,
rules?
No, they had all these a person that was hired actually to do all the chess moves and stuff. So they were all choreographed. So even better that I didn't even have to try to think of what moves to make or anything like that. They were all choreographed for me. Thank God, because I would have been I know the general moves that you can make and stuff like that, but I would not have been very convincingly a chess prodigy based on what I might have done in that scenario. So yeah, thankfully they were all choreographed.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, important for realism, right? You don't want someone to move, make a ridiculous move when you're supposed to be at this like high level. So
Right, exactly. So even better that they had someone think of all the moves and stuff for us, which is movie magic. Love it.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember the last time we talked briefly about the last stop in Yuma County, and you were so happy that
Yes.
you had a role where you were like age appropriate, you were, an adult. And then I see this movie and I'm like, oh, she's a 16-year-old kid again.
Yep,
So
yep, yep. Well, that's my bread and butter. I always say that my bread and butter is bratty daughter. That's my niche, and when I get to break out of that, I'm really happy. But it's always something I can come back to, apparently. So, and I think that like I said, my friend Anthony, who wrote the part for me, he's always going to view me as like his little sibling, kind of in a way. So he's a little older than me, and when we first met and became friends, I think I was 18. So I think he's always going to view me kind of as little sis kind of vibe. So I think that might have something to do with it. And they keep casting me as teenagers, so
Hey, yeah,
what am I
know
to
your
do?
niche and
Yeah,
enjoy the work, right?
exactly. So there will be a time in the future where I'll actually age out of it, and I might be a little sad. So for now, it's a compliment, I guess, that I look good enough to be playing teenager still, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
But
No,
yeah.
enjoy it while you can. Like I go to buy alcohol and I will pull out my wallet and they will have already scanned it there. I'm like really? You didn't even want to like pretend?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, well, you got the mustache,
yeah.
and that kind of probably helps, and it's a good mustache too. So there's no guessing that you're 18, because it's a grown man mustache. And yeah, I think I still get a little anxious when I hand over my ID, because I had a fake for the longest time. And so I'm always like, are they going to clock me? And I still have that feeling, and I'm 26. So I don't know if it ever goes away, perhaps. Or maybe when it does go away, I'll be like, oh no, I'm actually an adult now. Like, I'm not even worried about it anymore.
Yeah, when it goes away, you'll miss it. And
Yeah, exactly.
you don't miss it until it's gone.
Yeah, precisely. So I'm waiting for that. But for now, they definitely do still give me a really close look.
And thanks for the mustache compliment. Your check's in the mail, but thank you for the
Oh my God.
impromptu
Yes.
impromptu
Happy
mustache
to.
compliments.
Happy to. Always happy to give credit where it's due in terms of facial hair, for sure.
It's I don't know if I love it. It is at least a look. It is a distinctive look that
Oh, I think the shave head facial hair is distinguished. I think it's a good look. Like, there's I can't remember his name on YouTube. There's a guy, and he does all this like cool educational content, and he's British, and he's got like a shaved head, like full beard, like turtleneck glasses thing, and I think he looks really sharp. So I always think it's a good combo.
Wow. Yeah. Now I know what I'm gonna like cut and replay on my channel over them. Just that statement right there.
The compliments. Fuck
Uh,
everything else we said about the movie,
yeah.
but compliment,
Just
yes.
on loop, on reel.
Yes.
Just
And you know what? That's your truth, and you should.
yeah, it is. It is definitely my truth now. So the film came out on September 10th, 2024. So it's already out. Have you seen any reactions to it? Did people like, talk to you about it? Did you get to go to any like premiere, or were you too busy to kind of like go to a premiere or something like that?
Well, when some of the premieres were happening, it was strike time, which was definitely unfortunate, because I was very excited to promote this movie. But actually, the people that have gotten to see it that I'm most excited about is my relatives, because I do a lot of stuff that is perhaps unpalatable to maybe my extended family, perhaps a lot of blood and guts and sex and violence, which love all those things. But sometimes it makes it hard to, my family wants to support me, but it's a little hard to recommend something so grotesque sometimes or so upsetting. So this one was an opportunity to do something that I think I could very wholeheartedly recommend to my relatives and my family, and my nieces and nephews, my aunts and uncles, my grandparents. So they've actually given me the most glowing reviews. My parents particularly as well, which my mom watches everything that I'm in ever, even all the really heinous stuff. But she really, really liked this one. So that was a great seal of approval. And my relatives have actually been the ones to reach out and give the most positive reviews, which has been nice, because usually it's either you can support me, but you don't have to watch that, or they watch it without telling me, and they're like, huh, that was something. So
that was a movie. I really
yeah,
liked
they're like,
how you were in it.
yeah, they were like, well, you were in it and we watched it. So but yeah, so this one they were actually like, wow, that was really funny, we really loved it. And that was really nice to hear. So that's been the most meaningful reviews that I've gotten lately for it, was my family members. So that was nice.
That is awesome. Just be careful though. I mean, Christmas comes around, you'll probably have to play chess with a lot of your family members. So I would brush
Oh,
up now.
I think they know not to. Actually, my sister is a big chess fan. Like, she plays chess all the time on her phone. She's doing the chess in person. She used to really ask me to play chess with her all the time, but I think eventually it must have gotten boring for her if she wins every single time. But Yeah, I think they know not to ask me to play chess with them. My sister's right there also. It's like she really wants to, so you should definitely ask her instead.
You've got 2 months, or maybe little over 2 months, 3 months. Brush up now.
Yeah, yeah,
There must be a deep dive YouTube course on how to
there
master chess
probably
in
is.
20 lessons or something. So
Yeah.
surprise
And
them.
I took a whole chess class in high school. So maybe some of those skills will come back to me, but we'll see. None of the algebra or the calculus that I took in high school has come back to me so far. So well, remains to be seen about the chess.
I was gonna say if they need a DJ at Christmas, I'm sure you'll be good at
Yes.
that. So
Well, I already am the Christmas DJ. I make a Christmas playlist every year, and that's what gets spun in the house at Christmas time. So I already have that distinction.
hey, that is an important skill, right? You don't want a
Right.
quiet house on a holiday, so that is very important.
No. And you want the classics and some new stuff and all the favorites. So, and some maybe deep cut Christmas songs. So I think I put together a pretty great Christmas playlist, and that's my contribution, not the chess.
Just Mariah Carey on loop over and
I
over
mean,
and over.
whenever you're wondering, whenever anything else fails at Christmas time, you can always rely on "Merry Christmas" by Mariah Carey to carry you through. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing that it is lasted this long, but it is so catchy and
Yeah.
so perfect. So
No, it's a perfect Christmas album. I don't think there's been a better one since, honestly.
I have no information here to counteract that. So
Yeah, Christmas goat. She is.
so
Can't deny that. Yeah.
I know we have limited time, so I'm going to switch to a lightning round. They're just lightweight questions about the film. I want to hear
Cool.
your personal experiences, match things in the movie. Feel free to skip
Okay.
any of them. I won't be offended, and
Okay.
I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm ready.
First question: when was the last time that you played chess?
Whew. The last outside of pretending to play chess for the movie, probably at a Christmas time a few years ago with my sister after much begging on her end. That was probably the last time I played chess. And then she creamed me as expected. And yeah, that was the last time.
Much begging, much alcohol. That's normal
uh,
holiday stuff.
well, I wasn't going to be any better with any alcohol. So no, we were dead sober playing this chess game, and I still lost like embarrassingly. So yeah, that was the last time.
Again, brush up this Christmas.
Yeah.
Go on
Yeah.
in. Go
Yeah.
all in.
We're thinking about it.
Did you ever play Battle Chess? Because that is my favorite version of chess.
Battle chess?
It's the computer game where when you take the piece like they fight each other, and whatever piece takes it, you like cut the other piece up or something like that. It's an old
No.
computer game.
No, I certainly haven't. No. I don't think I've ever even heard of that. That just shows you what an actual not chess master I am, because I didn't even know about battle chess.
Or it shows you why they no longer check my ID anymore.
Well,
Either
that's
both of those could
also
be true.
they can both be true at the same time, perhaps. I did play pinball on the PC computer endlessly, 3D pinball. So I'm actually a much bigger pinball fan than I am chess. I love some pinball, but chess, no, I can't say I ever did.
Yeah, well, pinball, you're living in the moment. You're just reacting to the
See,
ball. So
exactly. You're living in the moment. There's no strategizing, thinking too far ahead in pinball. You're just following the ball, which is much more akin to how I live my life, I think.
yeah,
So
there we go. Know your strengths. Know your strengths.
exactly.
Do you have some sort of like ritual or song you used to do with your parents, kind of like what the kids in this movie did in the car?
Um, well, my mom is a big music buff, and so she showed me a lot. So there's just a lot of stuff that we like to rock in the car together. Actually, the other day, one of my mom and I's favorite things to rock in the car together when my sister and my dad aren't around is Creed. We both love the band Creed, or like
Oh,
Creed to me is my
guilty
mom
pleasures.
loved it. Yeah, no, I don't even feel guilty about it, honestly. Like I love that shit. And my mom, I have a lot of nostalgic feelings about Creed because like hearing Arms Wide Open just reminds me of it's Saturday morning. My mom is putting her CDs on, she's cleaning the house. Like, and so that's what we like to rock out in the car together is some Creed. And then my mom has an insane vinyl collection. So one of my favorite vinyls of hers to put on always since I was a kid and now is the album Time by ELO. That's one of our favorites. That's an album she showed me when I was real young that had a big impact. I love it. And she has an insane original vinyl collection, and that's probably one of my favorites to throw on with her. And then my sister and I actually have our own car playlist that we listen to when we're in the car together and I'm driving. So my sister made that so we can just shuffle it, and it's all sister bops.
That's awesome.
And so thinking of what those are, I'm trying to remember. It's a wide range of stuff.
Just
actually,
the two of us, I assume.
No, actually, it's more like stuff from when we were teenagers and kids. So like Krayshawn and Katy Perry and some Avril Lavigne, and then a couple random songs thrown in there. The Reason by Hoobastank, we love that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great bop. And and Blue October, we both love bopping some Blue October. So yeah, those are just some of the fun stuff. We have family songs.
that sounds fun. And I do love that, like, your mom's vinyl collection, it's come back around. So now it's like super cool to be a vinyl collector.
Yeah. So. No, I mean, she has like incredible original vinyl, like original Pink Floyd, original Madonna, original Blondie, like the Cars, like she had an incredible collection, or has an incredible collection actually, and she keeps growing it. Yeah, and hopefully that'll get passed down to me one day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess yes, hopefully, maybe not, it's a mixed situation.
Yeah. Obviously, but didn't think about that. But
I can't wait for that vinyl. Oh, maybe next year.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But certainly not, knock on wood. But yeah, she has an incredible collection, and has, since I was a kid, had an incredible physical media at large. Honestly, she's got an insane tape collection. She probably has 2,000 CDs. Like she's a big music fan.
That's awesome. That's really cool, and a lot of variety for you to then go and spin on the holidays.
Yes, honestly, yeah. Actually, she has a lot of great stuff to be spin on the holidays, so it's never quiet in the house.
Awesome. So next question: are your grandparents still alive?
On my father's side, no, unfortunately. But on my mother's side, yes. So I do get to see them once in a while. Unfortunately, all of my relatives live on the other side of the country, so I don't get to see them as often as I would like. But I do get to email and video chat with them pretty regularly. So I am very grateful for that, just because they do live quite a distance away, unfortunately. But yes, on my mother's side, I do thankfully have my grandparents.
That's great. And yeah, I love that, like, now technology makes it so easy that you can video chat with them, and it's common enough that you don't have to like go through the is it on, and there was a little bit of that in this movie, but I feel like
well, yeah, with boomer grandparents and beyond, there's always going to be a little bit of the initial getting it situated, but it's endearing, honestly, I think so.
For sure. So the two siblings in this movie were very different. It sounds like you and your sister are fairly different. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. And in fact, people who meet us would think that we're almost opposites, I would say. And I think that's why maybe we're so close, is that, and we also have a decent enough distance in age. We're 4 years apart. That, there was a time when maybe she was like 12 and I was 16 that we were definitely at odds with each other and stuff. But once we kind of made it on the other side of that, we're like best, closest friends ever, even though we're so different. But I do base, when a character has qualities that remind me of her and it's very different from me, she's sometimes kind of my gateway into getting into it, because I can kind of attach qualities that she has to the character and kind of base some of my performance on that. Actually, in Vast of Night, my character is based very heavily on Kayla, my sister.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. And I do love that, like yin and yang kind of, you're so different that it kind of, you complement each other probably.
Yes, we definitely complement each other, I would say. And we kind of fill in the gaps where the other person has them, I would say. So I'm always the Uber ambassador. I'm always the one that'll talk to the Uber driver, and if need be, if we're in a group, I'll sit up front and chit chat, which I think she's grateful for. And I'll also, if our order at a restaurant is wrong, I'm the one that usually speaks up and says something. But then also she's very, very sweet and kind and sees the best in people no matter what. So I could use a little bit of that.
So you are the Corey, I guess, in the
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. That makes sense.
In this film, Nana and Corey had a spa day. When was the last time
Mhm.
you had some sort of spa day, relaxation day,
Ooh.
recovery day?
Well, I get my nails done with my mom every 2 weeks. So we get to go have a mani-pedi moment twice a month, which I'm very grateful for because that's our little thing that we get to go do together. So yeah, actually, I think I moved my mani-pedi today to do this interview. So I think the next time
Oh,
I have one is Friday. So Friday I'll be having a little spa relax day once again. So
well, next time I'm in town, we'll have a mani-pedi day. It'll,
mani-pedi
yeah.
day. Yeah, it's life-changing,
We
honestly.
we
It
won't
makes you
talk
feel great.
work. We'll just talk, just socialize, gossip, listen to Creed.
Just shoot the shit, like
Yeah,
hot goss, like
yeah.
spill the tea, get our toes done.
Sounds perfect. Uh, so the film also had hamsters that had run amok. Did you ever have a hamster?
Yes. No, I had cats and dogs growing up, so a hamster would have been so very much in danger growing up. So it would have been not humane to have a hamster in the house. But I always liked the idea of having a little hamster. I'm not like afraid of rats and mice and stuff either. So I would have been very happy to have a rat or a mouse or a hamster, some kind of little furry rodent friend. But I do love cats the most, probably. So unfortunately, I don't think a cat and a hamster, it's very wise to put them in a pretty small apartment together. So until the day that I have multiple rooms to be housing the pets in, I don't think a hamster's in my future. But I'm very pro hamster, I would
Yeah.
say.
Well, and a hamster, I think, kind of fits with your, sleep schedule because I think they're nocturnal. So, and my
Yeah.
understanding is you are also fairly nocturnal. So,
Yes, very much so. But luckily, all the cats I've had have been relatively nocturnal as well, which worked out great for me.
they say that like pets take on aspects of their owners and vice versa. So
Yeah.
maybe you had some
So
influence on that.
honestly, who influenced who, I wonder. Like,
Who knows? Who
hard
knows?
hard to say, but yeah.
So your character is always on their phone, and at some point they, don't have their phone for a little bit. When was the last time that you lost your phone? Or maybe you haven't. Maybe your phone is glued to you and
Oh my
you're
God,
always with it.
no. Traumatizingly, actually, the last time I lost my phone was in January of this year, and I lost it in the worst possible fucking place to lose your phone. I lost it. I was in New York City for New Year's, and then on the Uber ride back to JFK Airport, I left my phone in the Uber.
Oh no,
Um,
that's the
as I was
worst.
getting, yeah, no, the worst possible place. And I didn't realize until I got inside and I was trying to check in, and I was just like doing the thing. And honestly, once I figured out that it was in the Uber that I had, because I had called the Uber, I had no way of figuring any of that out. I was fully having a meltdown in the airport. Honestly, I was crying and shaking because I was just like, I couldn't believe that I'd done that, honestly. And I felt so vulnerable, especially at the airport. For some reason, you feel like you need to have your phone on you. Um, but luckily my partner was there, and so he had a phone and we could use his, and we ended up getting on the plane. And props to my mom and the Uber driver. I called my mom because she had the Find My iPhone thing so she could see where it was, and so she ended up calling my phone, and the Uber driver answered, and they worked something out and he mailed it back.
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, there was a happy ending to the story. I got my phone back and everything was good, but man, that flight was rough. I was stressing majorly.
And it probably contributed to your character because that visceral reaction that you hear must have been,
Yes.
from that
Yes.
experience, maybe.
Very much so. Yeah, it was traumatizing. Although this happened after I had filmed Nana already, so I don't know. There's something. I lost my phone multiple times growing up as a teenager, and then once I got to be an adult, I just kind of didn't really have that problem until catastrophically. So I would say January of this year. So
Wow.
yeah,
It all
yeah,
worked out, thankfully. But yeah,
yes,
no,
thankfully, but
the
was rough
airport
at the
seems
time.
the airport does seem like a very vulnerable place because you need your tickets, you need, information, you need to
Right.
check all, flights and things like that. It feels like a place that you need that
Yeah.
information.
Right, exactly. And then I also had to raw dog the flight and have no music or
Oh
anything either. So,
God.
and I just had endless time in silence to think about the fact that I'd lost my phone. So, not fun, honestly.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that makes it even worse. That's a long flight to
Yeah,
just like
it
stare at the back of a
was
seat.
indeed. It was a nonstop flight from New York to LA, so I had plenty of time to ruminate on my mistake.
Wow. So your character in this movie doesn't talk. What is the
Yes.
longest you have gone without talking?
Oh Jesus, I don't know. I go a little crazy if I feel like I haven't talked in a while, only
You're like
because
23 minutes.
yeah, no, literally I feel every second of it, honestly. Because I'm not an introvert and I'm not a homebody really. So I don't like just hanging out by myself in silence. I really, really don't like that. In fact, when I go out and I socialize and I do fun things, that kind of charges up my battery to be able to have to be at home alone when I'm absolutely forced to be. But luckily I don't go too long without talking ever because I usually have an animal or a cat or someone in the apartment with me, or if I'm home alone, I usually call my family or my friends just to be on FaceTime or something. So not a very long time, honestly. Maybe being on an airplane, I probably actually no, I talk on an airplane too because I order a drink and stuff. So I don't even know what the longest time I've ever gone without talking is because I try to keep it as minimal as possible.
You're like, just whenever I sleep. That's
Yeah, no,
basically all the
honestly,
time.
actually, yeah. So probably about 12 hours when I sleep because I know I don't talk in my sleep. So I think about 12 hours when I've really slept in would probably be the longest time that I go without speaking.
Yeah, that is a long time though.
Yeah.
I did like your animal story because there was one time when I was studying for a test very, very hard, and basically my pets were the only things I talked to, and it
Yeah.
was a sad but needed existence, I guess.
Yes. And that's why I'm so glad that they're there because they at least for me, like they keep me sane when I do have to be by myself in the apartment alone. So very grateful for them on that front.
Keep you sane, push you to insanity, kind of somewhere in the middle there. Yeah.
No, I think especially feline presence only keeps me sane. That's why I need it around me. And honestly, when I travel for work and stuff, that's the thing that I miss the most is having a cat or any animal around, honestly, because I can talk to my family members, I can call my friends, my partner and stuff, but I can't call my cat really, So I definitely feel that emptiness the most, I would say.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You
Yeah.
set up a cat cam or something. At least then you'll be able to see the cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Or
freak them
sometimes the
out, but
cat will hop on FaceTime and it'll be like, hey, but not being able to feel the purr, hear the meow, speak to him, is sad. So sometimes actually I'll when I'm away for a long enough time, I'll find whatever shelter, humane society, whatever is around the area that I'm in, and I'll just go socialize the cats there because I'm just like I need to pet a cat for fuck's sake. If I don't get to pet a cat the next hour, like I'm gonna lose it. So sometimes I'll just be like, I need to go pet a cat. And so on my days off, I'll just go find a place to go pet some cats.
That's awesome. No, and it makes them happy too. So everyone wins. Everyone
Yeah, so
wins.
it's a win-win-win scenario, honestly.
So this film revolves around a chess tournament. When was the
Yes.
last time you entered any sort of tournament? Doesn't have to be a chess tournament, any sort of tournament.
Um, so a tournament. Well, few years ago, I haven't been as diligent with it lately, but a few years ago when I was a little less busy with work, I am on a trivia team. So trivia is one of my favorite like hobby pastimes. I love useless, stupid information, and my brain is perfectly outfitted to hold on to all of that. So I was in a trivia tournament years ago, maybe about 5, 6 years ago, when I was really had the time to dedicate to it. And yeah, we didn't get super close or anything to winning because it was a huge tournament. Like all these different teams across LA were competing. So it was a lot of stiff competition. However, our team did do well enough, around town that we were able to go to the tournament. So we did play at the tournament. We didn't place last. So, I think we did pretty well. I'm pretty proud of us. But yeah, trivia tournament was the last tournament that I was in.
No, that's awesome. I mean, getting there, like getting to be
Yeah.
at the whatever the finals or the
Yeah.
quarterfinals, whatever it was. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially something like trivia. There's a lot of people that take it very seriously in LA. So I feel like we did pretty good to be at the tournament.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I should get back into it when I have a little more time. I should get back into it. Maybe go to the tournament again this year. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go. And make a movie about it. Make a movie about your
Yeah.
quirky tournament and the
Yep.
weird other people, because I'm sure there are very weird people at trivia tournaments.
There
So
are some very LA characters at the trivia tournament, I will say. Undoubtedly, you're correct.
so the last question, this film is about a like family road trip. When was the last time you took a road trip with your family? It doesn't have to be all of them, like some amalgamation of your family on a road trip.
Um, a road trip with my family, probably pre-COVID, because my parents are older and my mom's immunocompromised, so they haven't really traveled a whole lot since COVID. But pre-COVID, we took some road trips. And also I just grew up because I lived in Palm Springs when I started acting, and so my mom would drive me 3 hours in and 3 hours back for auditions. So we
Oh
just kind
God.
of got used to driving. So um driving is a distance is not like a big daunting task in my family. They've driven all over the place. So yeah, I think the last road trip we might have taken would have been down to Palm Desert area, probably pre-COVID. That would probably be the last time that we took like a road trip, like a true road trip. Although I've been saying that I want to take more road trips lately. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, probably to the desert pre-COVID was probably the last road trip I took with my family.
That's awesome. And two observations. One, 3 hours. Now it's probably like 4.5 hours, given how bad traffic is in LA. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was bless my mom because she did it. And yes, and if I got a call back that was the next day, she'd have to do it all over again the next day. So it was crazy those first couple years when I was acting as a kid. Yeah, just the sheer amount of driving that my mom did was insane, but she did it.
That's
And
awesome. And
yeah.
we've got you here.
Yep, exactly.
And the other thing, I think the idea of a road trip is wonderful and very romantic, but I think maybe when you get into like the Midwest, maybe it becomes less romantic as the settings don't
Yeah.
change. But I don't know if you got the right tunes, you got the right people, maybe they'll just
Yeah.
all melt
The
by.
right music. I'm definitely a very good car trip DJ, I would say. So I know that'll be my designated road trip job. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think depending, I'm not like a super big road trip person, but I do think that if I did it the right way, I could have a lot of fun, kind of stopping where I want to stop, see some fun little kitschy landmarks, in the country. But yeah, especially because my family did make when I was a kid the trip from California to Texas driving, and
Oh
there's
wow.
a stretch when you get to Texas that is just endless nothing. It's so flat. Like if you have to pee, you're screwed because there's nothing for like 100 miles. It's crazy, which actually kind of lends itself to the plot of Last Stop. That's kind of what that's all about. Is that there's an endless stretch where there's nothing for many, many, many miles. But yeah, that's a bit of a rough part about road trips, and I'm kind of high maintenance sometimes in that respect. So I'd have to really map out where I'm going and make sure that I become aware when we're reaching the very desolate parts, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's definitely good planning. But hey, plan it
Yeah.
out, get some good music. Sounds like a fun
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. I can have some fun with it for sure.
So the film came out on September 10th, 2024. You
Yes.
were out promoting it, getting the word out, letting people know. But I
Yes.
imagine you probably have other projects on the horizon, or at least a road trip to plan. So after people see
Yes.
you in the Nana project, what can they look for next from you?
Well, I have an atmospheric sort of vampire movie called I Don't Want to Drink Your Blood Anymore, which is super fun. And then I have a couple things that I can't speak to definitively on at the moment, but I do have a couple things that should be coming out. Like I said, actors are usually the last people to know the release dates of things. So I don't know exactly when they'll be released, but I do have a couple things that I'm excited about in the can to show you guys soon. So we'll see about that.
Awesome. That sounds great. And I'm excited about a vampire movie. It sounds probably like, are you old, young, somewhere in between?
Um, in between. So
All right.
I
Okay.
think yeah, I don't think I'm a
Progress.
child. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
a minor, so that's always a win.
Progress. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And a vampire movie,
I
another lovely
yeah.
film to show your family so they can all see. I'm sure it's
Yes,
just
a
wonderful,
lovely,
wholesome.
heartwarming, uplifting, inspiring movie for my family to love. But that is not the case. However, the Nana Project is exactly that movie, and that's why I'm excited to show it to people and tell everyone about it, because it actually is something to feel good after watching.
So while you wait for that a heart, well, probably has a heart in it, vampire movie in the future,
Yes.
you can check out the Nana Project, which is already out on digital, came to digital on September 10th, 2024. This is Sierra McCormick, the star of it. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, David. It's always good to chat.
That was Sierra McCormick talking about the Nana Project, which came to digital on September 10th, 2024. It is a heartfelt, quirky comedy about an energetic old lady, her grandkids, a chess tournament, and some really interesting characters along the way. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.